Hello my friends, this is Sylvie Curry, and once again I am in my kitchen. I'm going to be prepping today something which you're going to say, they're so cheap in the grocery store, why do you need to do that at home? Well, just because, you know me, I just like to do things just to see what is involved in the process. So what is it that I'm going to be working on? I'm going to be curing some pork hocks and some pig feet so that after the cure process, and that's in a few days, I'm going to put them on the smoker, smoke them, and I'll have them ready for when I want to do things like collard greens, black-eyed peas, or anything that I need to have a nice smoky taste or flavor added to it. So come on, join me while we prep to do some curing of some pork hocks and some pig feet. Here are my pork hocks, and that's about 3 pounds. And I have my pig feet, and that's about 2 pounds of pig feet. All of those I initially put into this bowl, and then added just plain water to see how much water I would need to cover both of them. And that would be the amount of brine that I'm going to make to go into it. I came up with 8 cups of brine that I'll need to cover them in this particular bowl. I'm going to then take 4 of the 8 cups of brine water, which I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of sugar, 3/4 cups of kosher salt, 2 teaspoons of ground black pepper, 4 teaspoons of Prague powder, number 1, pink salt, and the equivalent of about 2 bay leaves. I'll add that to this water, heat it up, get it dissolved, then later cool it off so that I can then add it to this bowl, which will then include my pork hocks and my pig feet. I'm going to add salt, brown sugar, the pink salt, black pepper, and bay leaves. And I'll give that a stir. Then I'm going to heat this up and let it dissolve, then cool it so we can add this brine to our meat. It's been a couple hours and my brine solution has cooled down quite a bit, and I'm going to be adding it to my pork hocks and my pig feet. Pour that all in. Then I'm going to add the water, cold water to it, and get it covered. I want to make sure I get the brine solution and that water mixed. And I still have to put more of the ice in here. There we go. That all up. I'm going to take this, cover it, and then put it in the refrigerator for anywhere from 3 to 7 days. And we should have our curing done. Over the next few days, I'm going to be mixing it up and turning it around just in case something falls to the bottom, some of the seasonings. So make sure I have an even covering and dissolving of the solution in this water brine. We're on about day 5 or 6 of curing these pork hocks and these pig feet. I just took this out of the refrigerator, and you can see that we're looking good. Every couple of days I go in and I stir it around just so that the solution stays completely uniform and that there's not a concentration of salt in the bottom and not as much on the top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour off this liquid. We're going to rinse these pork hocks and these pig feet. I'm going to put it back into this container with some clear water and refrigerate that for about an hour. That way we'll pull some of the salt out. Now, why did we go through all this time to put salt in here to go and to pull it out? The reason for that being the concentration of salt that's in here was necessary for curing. However, it may be too much for when you're cooking it and how you're going to use it. So I just don't want it to be overly salty. These are my pork hocks and my pig feet after they've been in the curing solution for that 5 to 6 days. And I just wanted to give you an idea of what the meat looks like before we smoke it. As mentioned before, this is going to go back in the refrigerator. I'm going to put more clear water in here, and we're going to let this soak for about an hour. We've got this pork hocks and pig feet in the clear water. I'm going to now cover that and head on over to the refrigerator with it. My pork hocks and pig feet had finished soaking. They were in the refrigerator in plain water for a bit over an hour. I'm going to say it's about an hour and 45 minutes. And what I need to do now is to pat them dry, because the next step is to put them in the refrigerator for 24 hours uncovered, and that will help dry out the skin. I have the pig feet and the pork hocks in a pan that's lined with parchment paper, and I've got a cooling rack here which I'm using as a way of getting airflow to go all around the meat while it's in the refrigerator. These babies have been in the refrigerator for a little over a day. Now they're ready to get some smoke to make them yummy, tasty, and ready to flavor any meal that I need to cook. I'm trying to keep the temperature in my kettle around no more than the 200 mark, 200 plus or minus a little bit, so that I can smoke these pork hocks and pig feet. Don't want a hot smoke, I just want a long, slow smoke so they can absorb a lot of that smoky goodness that's in there. I've got the pork hocks and the pig feet on. I'm going to close this up because I don't want the temperature to swing too far up. We're now about 2 hours into this cook, and at this low temperature it's a slow process. We are now 3 hours into this cook. Color's looking very good. Still have some rendering to do. Gonna rotate it around a bit so that we get even browning all around these pig feet and pork hocks. 132, 136, 139. Now keep on going. Okay, let's check on these babies. The color looks great. We're at 157, 159, 157. So we're almost there. Actually, we are there because I can pull these. One of the things with doing these smoked pork hocks is that we've got them up to temp, but we're not going to eat them like this. We're going to use them to flavor other things like collard greens, black-eyed peas, and things like that. And they will be flavored with that rich, smoky hickory and apple flavor and porky goodness, actually. So I'm pretty happy with the color. Looking really good. Hey, my friends, we're ready. My pork hocks, Pig feet are looking great. The color is fantastic. I know they're up to temp. I probed them just a little while ago. These are going to go great in some black-eyed peas, some collard greens, some lima beans. Great flavor, great smoky flavor these are going to deliver. I just love it. Thank you very much for joining me in this venture of smoking some pork hocks to bake smoked ham hocks and pig feet.